go back to the gas station and get me another tea. I was outside. I noticed that my back door was open and the babies is sleeping like in a back room while they're here. And I went outside to close the screen door. I said, damn, somebody just left the sliding door open. They didn't even lock this door. You know, I don't know. Well, because most of the children sleep on that. I sleep on this end of the house. And I got to walk through the kitchen, walk through this, the dining room, the kitchen, past a bedroom, all this stuff like this, to the back room and the back room. So I just don't, I like to make sure everything locked up before I go to bed. And one of the twins, she be going in and out throughout the night or whatever. And so I went and I tried to close that sliding door, y'all, and my nail, it's the only thing I hate sometimes about having nails. I went there and I tried to put my thumbnail in there to like slide the sliding door. You know how the sliding door got that little latch on it. And I slid my nail in there to try to slide it down, and I walked away too fast with my nail still tangled up in the damn thing. Girl, I thought about to die. I thought I was about to die. I had to look at my nail. It felt like my nail just got, the fake nail, my whole nail, the skin of the nail. It felt like everything just ripped off my hand. It should have been just laying there on that damn door. And I would have just slipped out with a little nub. Oh, it hurted so bad. I had to see if it was even still sitting on my skin. It feels a little bit better now, but my finger was numb. I felt that. I don't feel it no more, but golly. I had to jump up and down a couple times to try to relieve it. But anyways, hopefully it's all right. Hopefully it's all right. That's the only thing about having these long nails. Oof. Anyways, I was sitting here thinking. I was watching something, and somebody's like, yeah, you know, my grandmother and my people, they worked hard and they did this and they did that. And I'm thinking like, that's nice. But I knew if somebody was sliding through my feed, they trying to say something. So I'm thinking like, who is these people that think that? Everybody's lifestyle or they come up or whatever that is got to be the same. You know, I know, because we talked about this a lot on this channel, how they gonna try to play the storyline. Sitting here watching somebody, hyper watching, because they was already probably watching throughout your life, or throughout my life, but hyper watching. Like, somebody got the nerves. Because if you read the definition for inheritance, especially in etymology, this is not nothing this is something that's inherent, is given. Somebody might have died and said, hey, this is what I want this. They knew you, or they watched you, or they seen you, or it was on the list like the next person to get an inheritance, whatever it is, the order of whoever, whatever. We talking about an inheritance. We ain't talking about no favors. We ain't talking about no handouts. We ain't talking about nothing. We talking about, I woke up to receive at this time. And I like, they've been trying to send a lot of motivational. I'm already motivated. I know what's supposed to be coming to me. It's something that's going to change my life financially. I've been sitting, already went and did all the work throughout my life. Even more so the last 6 years, I know these people been playing with me. Ain't nobody supposed to be jumping through no hurdles or nothing like this to get whatever this is. Somebody could have even changed something on the wheel to try to say somebody got to be married first, or somebody got to be this or that first. I think somebody changed something on the wheel. I think that somebody's supposed to be coming through their awakening on their journey. Somebody blocked my journey, and they're blocking money. So that somebody will have to stay in a ruin after they ruin the relationship. You want me to stay in this relationship like these people own me or something, like I'm your toy or some pawn in your game. The part that pissed me off the most is, I know people can sit in my face all day and be like, oh, I didn't do nothing or whatever. No, you just brought back the masculine that you probably had in some type of recovery mode for the past 6 years. But whoever was playing that part for the past 6 years, somebody was out there fucking around, purposely, forcibly. It wasn't nothing like you know, you was going through something. Like I said, doing something. I don't have to be sex. Somebody was doing something with someone behind my back in order to arrange they could have been doing something with their affairs too, but to arrange something with my affairs that would have me in a dire situation. Point blank, period. I might not have all the sense in the world. I might not even be my full self because these people were siphoning my energy, siphoning memories, siphoning things, replacing things, putting other people's stuff on me. But at the end of the day, that's nice to know, you know, that somebody, you know, again, we know that in this world we got different classes of people. If I was in the working class or if I was in the mama class or whatever, most of my life, I'm damn near about to be 46 years old, supposedly. Okay? Listen to what I'm telling you. I've been living out of my parents' house since I was 19 years old. And I was running my household. When I first got my first apartment, I already had a 1-2-year-old. And I've been an at-home mom all that time since I was 19. And I was running my household. And I had more children and this and that and whatever. I don't like the fact that some people that should not have no say-so about anything that's going on with me think that they can run something on me, exploit me, or show me at some kind of way while I'm waiting for my shit to come in. To say that I don't deserve to have whatever it is that's supposed to be coming to me, especially if this is something, I don't see why anything bad should be coming towards me because I'm not a horrible person. I never have been. But it's nice. People can say all that. My dad had 32 jobs. That's nice. That's good for you and your family. Okay? But when you done went through whatever this is that I went through with this experimental, whatever the fuck these people did with me, compartmentalizing, moving without my permission, whatever they was doing with my children, my family. Did you go through that? Okay then. Maybe some people did go through that, but they can't talk about it. Because they made it to the other side and they was able to make money, and a substantial amount of money, in a way that they may have dreamed and hoped and sold themselves out or whatever to do so. There's nothing in my mind that's going to tell me otherwise. That somebody played some vicious, inhumane. If it's regular for a group of people, I don't think it was supposed to be for me. Especially if I'm found to be a royal, like I said. These children should have never been played with. My life should have never been played with in that, because this is about building legacy, strong bloodlines, things like this. We're born and bred to do that. And then we bore and breed to do that. You understand? So they want to call this a prisoner of war, just uncircumstantial situation, whatever they want to call it. I put in work. If I am to walk away from this situation and find out that my children were taken or raised separate from me, or the fact that I stayed around and I raised children that wasn't even mine because somebody played a wicked game like that with me, or they switched out my children, or they killed my children and made me raise robots, whatever the fuck they did. And you hear people like, yeah, I got my kids, and they're probably made it financially into a caliber or a status where they may not have to worry about their children being taken and swapped out and moved around or whatever this is. It just seemed like it wasn't the case for me. That means that for all my childbearing years, I was in a head game thinking I was raising a family that I would be able to enjoy. At the end of the day, no question asked, this is my daughter, this is my child, this is her husband, these are my grandchildren. So especially when you're raising girls, if the children come out their womb 9 times out of 10, you thinking that it's their child. You're not thinking that, somebody could have been messing with their womb, and these ain't even the children of your children. So do you get what I'm saying? It's like saying somebody is good enough, like the mammies in the past was good enough to feed your baby they breast milk while they was feeding their babies the breast milk. They felt sometimes they fed the little Caucasian children the breast milk, but this person ain't good enough to sit at your table, or this person ain't good enough for you to. But even those slave children made it into the book, maybe as the master's bastard, slave child. They still made it in some type of recognition as a part of the family or something sometimes. But that's what I'm saying. Anybody that was sitting there and had an outside look on it, and they got the nerves to question something or be trying to be petty about something, or think that they should debate, or you don't work hard enough or something like this, that's like for any other woman that was, like I just said, an at-home mom. They find themselves in a situation. The masculine energy might not be in the work field like at a big law firm or nothing like this, but they might have a little job or something like this. This person still have his semen. He can go out there and get a 25-year-old pregnant. You don't have that same, or I don't have that same capability. I'm used to a certain lifestyle. Even in regular life, if a man chose to leave me for a younger woman, leaving a decoy of you here is not suffice. So, and people are like, oh yeah, you got away with this, and slapping people's hands up. Y'all gonna pay for that. Or families taking people out and then they're handling the marriage or something like this, like they're the person that you married or whatever. But I think what I was gonna say is I just lost my train of thought. But the man can go out there and leave the person, but what your responsibility is though, when you turn around and you say, yeah bitch, you was online, or I don't like what you said, or I'm leaving you today, Sally, I found somebody that looked better than you, look at this fat ass and this thin waist and everything, that's fine and dandy. But the reason why there's a such thing as alimony and things like this is for women that was promised by their men, maybe sometimes forced or manipulated or moved to not work and stay home with the children. Okay? Which could save somebody a lot in daycare and all this other shit. You could have wanted to get a job. What? 1 second, I'll be in there in a minute. This is a situation where if this is some kind of plot where somebody met you because they knew who you were in your status, and they lusted after your face or whatever this is, whatever would be able to know about you, what comes with marrying you, the dowry thing that comes with marrying you, or the assets that are attached to you that you don't even know because they still have you in a slave mind or a slave race, or as a sale mate or a sale energy. That's why they do this, to protect women like this that may find themselves at a certain strange point or time in their life, and they was given a lifestyle, is to continue on with a certain level of the certain lifestyle because this man chose somebody else. This could be also what we talking about in the Bible when it said that the man is supposed to give the person a certain amount or something like this. It's to protect women that might find themselves 50 or 60 years old, and what you thought your man saying, hey, we saving money because when I go into retirement, I need to be able to take care of both of us. But now you leaving for a 25-year-old or something like this, and that's your, when you leave, you're taking your assets from work. When you leave, if you something happened to you, that person is going to now get the assets from your death. I'm not going to get any kind of social security or anything from your job or anything like this. I'm not getting anything. So for people that's saying that, and that you already been in a game, in the game or the industry or something like this, or you had to work your whole life, good for you that you didn't have to find yourself in a situation where now you of this age. And even if these people are looking to bear children with these women, now you're in a different bracket because you may not even be able to bear children anymore. So then young men or other men or men that might be a little younger than you or maybe your age and they looking to settle down, they may not be looking for you because you can't have no chick. So that pulls you out of another category. Because what they're doing is trying to make us dependent on if you're going to get to be somebody's divine masculine or divine feminine, right? Some of us aren't thinking like that. I'm thinking, yes, if I have an inheritance or if there's something that's supposed to be or alimony due to me, I want that so I can move on in that manner. I don't want to have to belong to no fucking body else. I'm not stuck in your cultures and your religion and your whatever this is. I didn't come here to read the Bible and find out how Jesus should be acting. Jesus came here with to say stuff to the people that God was relaying to them, and that's it. Or to Christ or whatever. And then to rule. The Christ came to sit eventually and rule. So it's almost like if I missed out on a whole lifetime and legacy of rulership out of these people holding back the truth or something like this, it's like the only thing that am bred and born to do, or the only thing I did wake up to do, is to rule. It's not to go back to school and do all this other shit because people trying to find themselves in some worker class level something. Maybe an entrepreneur, maybe they got money, maybe they got other ways, plugs, illegal or otherwise, to make money. I woke up to sit on a throne or sit somewhere and rule or command. Of course, finances would probably be coming. Some of us that have been here several times on, I came here to, like Martin Luther King said, pick up my check. I came here for this. I woke up for this time. Maybe in the past lifetime, it was something else. I'm here now. So that's a very strange situation to wake up in. Or to have your faith based in that relationship. And if you're a seer or an oracle or somebody that can pick up on the energy, you know somebody that did something foul. And I could feel people trying to shift something back into what they would call a normality, where just forget about what you think you could have picked up on over the past 7 years. Do you take this person to be your... No, I don't. Because I don't like it. I don't even know. There's something that's unsure about what could have been happening and occurring throughout these past couple years that I don't agree with. And so, no, I don't. And people be like, girl, why you saying something? The point is, I cannot leave this stoop from this house until something is written, something is said, something is given, or something is in order. A motherfucker can go look from the outside, looking in all you want, but there might not even be another person that's getting this opportunity that I'm supposed to be getting in this lifetime that I'm getting. So you would not even know what to do with you, just judging because you on the outside looking in, or you think that somebody's life should look a certain type of way before they get something. I could be a bum on the fucking street, and somebody found out that I'm the 5th cousin of Queen Elizabeth and all the other royals is dead, and now or what I said is true about being a child or being connected to the senior royals. and they find me scraped up, stinking on the street and living out of a shopping cart. If somebody found me like that, what would you do? You just gonna say, oh, look, this person is homeless. We can't give this to them. The person could be a genius. The person could be the cure to cancer. The person could be something. The other nasty part of this is that people could just look at you from the outside, test you, come poke you with stuff, try to take your DNA, find out what good is about you, use it all up, and then act like they don't want to give you whatever they came to bring you in the first place in the end, because they feel like that got everything that they need from you. And then leave you there homeless and stinking when they were supposed to be coming to bring you a check. Because you not working. Why you not working? You homeless on the street. For some of these scammers, I talk to y'all like that because I know you thieves and you scammers. I'm not talking to no people that happen to be living in a car or something like this, and I know your situation could be something like this. You didn't do nothing wrong to nobody. It's just people doing wrong to you, and they think that that's okay, and they're protecting each other, and they got you in a bad situation. And you become one of these numbers of people that don't know what to do next, or you can't afford to get representation or something, and then you're just sitting there. It's not like waiting. You're still trying to figure things out. You're still doing things, internal things, right? To maybe, get to a better understanding. You're not just doing nothing. It'd be just like somebody on a case for 2 to 3 years, and they still got the same evidence from 2 to 3 years. They still working that case every day. They can't do nothing without going to speak, at least spending an hour on this case to figure something out. It's not going nowhere. It seems like it's 4 or 5 years, and it seems like it's getting cold. The case is getting cold. The case is getting cold. And then 6, 7 years later, you find something, some fabric with some blood or something on it. Hopefully it's the right person's, and somebody didn't plot and put somebody else's blood on there to get somebody else put in jail. But if it's the right hit, injustice is going to be served with the right person going to jail, that'd be great. And then all them people say, you spent all them years on that case or whatever. You probably got somebody like, oh my God, leave that case. I'm so tired of hearing about that case. You could come home, talk to your wife about the case. Leave this case alone. It's driving you crazy and everything. Just leave it alone. And then 6 years later, you get that hit that you needed. And then you be like, see, God, something inside of me told me not to leave that case alone. So it's nice for people, because some of us didn't see that. When people say, oh, my grandma, she carried 25 pounds of mangoes from one farm to another with 7 kids, that's nice. But in here where we live, we didn't have those examples. I didn't have those examples. If somebody didn't have money or something, and they had a little bit of money or whatever, there's some people that I know that I seen them be on food stamps their whole existence in my life that I knew them. They was on food stamps the whole time, and they got taken care of by the state. There's some people I know that they barely ever really made it. They never had extra money, but they did have enough money to pay their car note and pay their rent, and they probably didn't have the best furniture, but they had a place over their house, over their head. They probably didn't have the best clothes, but they had a roof over their head, and they had a car to drive to work. And all they did, we could say it could be some people here that make $1,000 a week or something, and the only thing you get is $100 to feed yourself at the end of the week after paying all your bills. And some people that was in two family households, and they still didn't have no savings whatsoever. In my household, we had one person working, and we had a nice size savings. Somebody didn't do that on their own. You had to have a partner that understood a little bit. Now, if you was a snake to that person, then you're gonna have to pay for that in the end. And if you was doing something else, or if there was more money than that, and then you treated this person and only gave them crumbs, or let another woman operate your wife's accounts, and then that person lived good and your wife was sitting around with you don't have no complaints. That's why I be saying about some of these situations, you never know how things going to play out. Because somebody could have came to you, found you, planned on with their family and community to rob you, just marry you and be with you for 20 years, 30 years, and drop your ass like a bad habit. And during that relationship, you could have been still They could have tried to keep you by themselves or keep you separate, but you still made friends. You still was able to have a good time or something like this before you realized your whole life was a lie or something like this. Or like I said, this person would always had another person, and that person and them was playing on you. And then this person got the nerves to say, "See how I did you so bad." Well, really, we could be even, because whatever you want to add up to me doing behind your back or doing to you, or you felt like you got hurt by me doing, when you came to me knowing that you was about to rob me with your family, you see what I'm saying? What did you want it to be? So you could just add that all up into that deception, and so you deserved everything that you got. Like I said, if these people were sending these men into our lives to restrict us from real love, because a lot of us might not have had that example growing up about what real love looked like. We seen a bunch of single moms, a couple single dads, something like this or whatever. Maybe one family member or two people in your family was married, or you didn't see what that looked like. So, I don't have that many complaints about it worked, as even if it was just supposed to be a partnership, it worked to a certain extent. So, some of us didn't have that example. So you might have been living with this person and there could have been things that was missing or lacking. You could have complained about them. The person could have been like, "Oh, I'm just not like that." But you might get some footage from somebody to show, "Oh, this motherfucker like that. This is this person in 1997 with this bitch, cuddling all on this bitch, kissing her and everything like this, doing this, hugging her, lifting her up in the air, holding hands, like all catering to her and something like this." But the person was never with you like that. That person might have had the outside person might have had to pay all their bills, but they was able to because of the money that these people accumulated from you. This made this person look more independent than you. But if they just gave you your money, then you would have been independent. So it just don't even make no sense. Because if somebody would have gave you your money, then you would have been able to just help the person with the bills, and y'all would have made something together. So that's why I'm saying something has to be deeper. Something has to be deeper. This is like it's like it's not genocide. It's something. It's called something else. Where one race or one family or one group is trying to cut out another without actually doing it. Like we read in the Bible the other day, don't cut down them trees because you can feed off of them, right? Some type of usury. And so somebody can say that, but again, if like I told you, if these people came in your life in order to rob you, they deserve everything. And if they do find out some shit that you was up to in the back end, or if you did have to find lovers somewhere else because this person refused to give you affection or something, oh well, that's the way I look at it. Again, in a situation where a woman catches on, she start waking up on her journey and she sees that there's something strange about this person, the way they moving, and she stopped giving, that's still not even the same thing. Because you was moving funny, and you was doing something, and you changed, and you stopped giving, and you stopped giving attention, finances, whatever to see is stability. You were giving that already, but you stopped because it was a part of your plan. It wasn't because it was a natural thing or something. It was a part of your plan to humiliate this person or something. So it's your intentions. I'm looking at it like this. It's your intentions. It's your intentions. And I feel like somebody is mad because somebody's not hurt. If you did find out, or if you do think you're not as hurt as somebody thought you should be, because your intentions was to try to hurt the person. And sometimes people is more logical when it comes to shit like that, like me, and you're not gonna be able to hurt me like you wanted to. And I ain't saying you ain't gonna hurt. I'm just saying you ain't gonna be able to hurt me like you wanted to once I see that this is the game that's being played. This is why I get on myself a little bit so much, because I'm like, damn, why didn't I pick up on this and that? But it's so many people. If everybody around you is faking it, how would you? That's your reality, was the fake shit. They tried to play it off like the real shit was the fake shit. So how could you? It's not like just your man was being like this and the rest. No, some people are in a situation where everything that was around them, you could have had a small circle in there. Oh, I kept my circle small. It don't matter because the circle was small, but it could have been contaminated. It could have been infiltrated. They could have been friendly, but your enemies was the ones that bought out those particular people, gutted them, and used them as surveillance on you instead of friends. And you didn't realize that, or you didn't notice that. You didn't notice that maybe your friend always want to talk about their situations, but don't want to talk when you have something to talk about. They gotta go. You might not have you might have just took that as like, oh, this is, I love this person, they my friend. I know that's how my friend is. She don't really like to, you know but all the other things or whatever, seem like good friendship things. That's what I say about people want to act like somebody is perfect or something like this. Okay. Yeah, so that's when I was just thinking today, like, that's really nice, because this does seem like these are people that feel like I had to work hard all my life, and you think you about to just get this inheritance. Well, damn, no, it's not that I think it, it's whoever it is that left the shit for me thought that I should get it. Been able to see the future and knew that this shit was gonna come. These people actually was gonna do that. They're gonna steal everything from me, and somebody wanted me to have something because they know how the game works. So who are you then to go messing with this dead person and saying that you playing around with this money and you don't want the person to get it? With this person could be looking over, cross over, looking at you, and just very disappointed and very hurt that you would go against their last will and testament because you got a problem with somebody. Somebody can do this to a person, and this person saved your grandfather's life back in, 1986 or something. They jumped in front of a bullet or something like this, and your grandfather was out in the streets and he didn't get shot, and this person got shot. And then that he might not have been able to give that person because he was on the opposing team or something. But when he passed away, he said, I'm leaving that nigga something. Period. And then you don't even know the whole extent of the thing. And then here you go saying, nah, that dude is over. Why would my grandfather leave that for him? He on the other, my grandfather was a blood and he a Crip. You never know. He must have knew what he was doing or whatever when he wrote that shit down on that paper. Because somebody could be like, we're this family or whatever. Why would you leave that peasant something? But this person knew that you wasn't a peasant. And all you was going to need in the future was this little money to get you started. And you was going to go be able to claim everything, not only to heal you, it might not even have nothing to do with your lineage or with your particular family, but it could have repaired you, a lineage, and a couple of other people that don't even know that they still enslaved or they still entrapped in something. It only had to start. God made it so it start with that one person that people was gonna judge and say, you don't deserve that or something like this. We good over here. And then a year later they find out, no, enslaved over here. Oh my God. And then there you go. You done ruined it. And you just split this money up with people that ain't even got one penny left of that money. And God already knew. I gave it to this, gave it to her because she was like this and like that, and she had the plan to open up this, and this would have started a whole bunch of people doing the same thing, and then all these people would have been able to get in on something. She had the plan since she was little. We seen it in her Akashic records, and that's why I left it. People is haters. And it's like at a standstill. Somebody like, but you just gonna sit there? You just gonna sit there and not do nothing? What the fuck else am I? You know what I'm saying? Even if somebody thought there's a whole bunch of money coming, what else am I gonna do? It seemed like readings is bringing the information out. So what else would I be doing? See, because I'm telling you, it's a sensitive situation for somebody out there. It may not even be me. But somebody wants you to feel like that. Well, I should just go get it because now you got a whole bunch of people lurking. Now you got a whole bunch of people. They done exploited you on the dark web. Some of these niggas on the dark web got money just to creep on niggas. Okay. And somebody waiting for you to do that and be working in the middle of the night or something. You got to take a funny shift or whatever because how everything work in the house. You're not really used to watching your back and everything because you've been at home all this time. And there you go. They going to just leave you. That's like leaving somebody to the wolves to a certain extent. It's only there's only a certain amount of time. If you somebody like you that been targeted or exploited in that manner is gonna be living your life regular, and then it's gonna be on the news. Oh, this person was found, in the bathtub with one leg out or something, or by her front door. It looks like an intruder was in there already. Boom. Like, these people ain't slick. Where if you had money, you might be able to go move into a gated community. That's just a little bit. You might not be able to have guards outside your door like that, the White House or something like this, but you could probably fix up something to protect yourself, or purchase something, a high level, alarm system or something, or some cameras and shit, and put it in your house. An expensive guard dog or something. One of them $30,000 dogs that'll bite somebody's throat off in one snip if they try to come in your house in the middle of the night. You might be able to do something like that. Because obviously these people don't want to help you. Or you got to sign yourself over to them to be in some of their clique or something like this. God must didn't want that for you or me. That's why you're supposed to get the inheritance. Some of these people might have had to even go through witness protection. But these days, witness protection probably ain't protecting no fucking body. They want you to sign up for witness protection. They can get you easier. Make you think that you can let your guard down. That's exactly where they want you to go, is witness protection. Shit, that could be the lasher for some family. This person got us right where he wants us to be in witness protection program. Give me the list. I cannot. These people is crazy, y'all. And mass manipulation, what I'm saying about tarot is what I said. A lot of these people ain't feeling that. They tapping into each other's energy. Energy is being swapped around. Because it's only a minimum, very small amount of people that had these type of blessings coming to them. And something has been hyper-sized or hyper something. And the way psychology works is that when people sit in there listen to that, and they might not have had these are the people that could be bringing it into their life because they're listening to it all day. Some of us, our storyline is being used to tell and used to say this is happening to you, but this is actually really happening to you. And as seers, you had to be careful with oracles too, because we are picking up on this energy. It depends on what your path or how your journey started. Okay? Some of these people was doing this same shit back in the 90s. Pulled out their tarot cards and doing the same thing. There just wasn't no YouTube back then. But some of these people was doing this shit back then. Okay? And they seen a wave of this. And they knew when the wave of this shit was coming up again, and they dusted off them cards and brought them out. Or they was gossiping on the phone, or whatever it is. They was doing some kind of way. They were doing the same type of thing. The fact that tarot is so rampant, it is programming a lot of people that might have an empty space or some type of loneliness in their life, or some type of confusion, or they need something to cleave onto. In a time of despair, after COVID and after breakups and after all this other shit, and there could be something. Your family could be phony. But a lot of families, especially in the urban communities, are. They sit there and talk about each other and shit all the time, but they're not thinking about murdering you. So that's true enough to then you push these people over the edge, making them think that somebody's also doing all this other shit, but the person is not even on the list of the importance to even have that happening to them. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be funny about it, but I'm just saying, when you water something down like that, you're leaving the people that actually really need the help in despair. What grosses me out is that some of these people that's trying to push this shit on, like, yeah, I know y'all, everybody feel this. Some of y'all could be this, some of y'all could be. That's also deception. That's why I might word my shit like some situations is like this. Not some of y'all. I don't like using the term like that. It's spell work. Tarot can be spell work for an illusionist or something like this to get you to follow them, watch them, subscribe to their channel. And when you subscribe to channels, I just tell people I don't subscribe to nobody's fucking channel. I just don't. Because that's an energy transfer. There's some type of cords, and you're like, oh, cut them cords or whatever. Some of these cords is you might be subscribed to 20,000 channels or something. Some of them is cords. Motherfucker have a lot of work to do. But like I told you, it'd be nice, to hear some of these storylines of the people that actually got justice, from start to finish. Some people might even pay some people in the future to try to act like they got justice. Might be with your money or mine. But if it's so many people, where are the stories of people retrieving whatever it is that could have got missing? Because I don't really hear about nobody else talking about missing children or swapped out children or DNA swaps and stuff like this. I don't hear that many. So this must be a different this is a different frequency over here, probably. May not be the most popular, but it could be the most real. Or somebody that can at least point out a family member that might have a child with them, have pictures of this child, and also then see this child in the limelight and be able to line it up like that and then get justice. I want to see the person that put it out there. Because the next thing would be to check DNA, but it may not be a good idea or something like this because of whatever this is. Somebody could be separated them children for a reason. Because they knew that if they had these children, they was going to put all them children before you, and then you was going to end up dead. Nothing about this. Nobody that goes through this situation want to bring attention to themselves. I've never been somebody that like attention in the first place. If I needed to have it, I would have it. But I've never been somebody that seek. Just like I don't seek out tarot readers. They end up just being in my feed and I click on their channels. Because I know which ones have a portion of my intel connected to them, and they would be telling the story on the frequency of whatever this is on my story. So if you took a piece of my brain and put it in a bitch and I don't have it no more and I need it, and this person is talking with that piece of my brain, bitch, I could watch that person channel all day. That's a piece of my fucking intellectual property that person is using right now. Just like God said, I'll show you God show me who using my energy. And I point them out. There's supposed to be people that work in certain departments to make sure that shit is not happening or the wires get swatched back in. I just feel like somebody was trying to make somebody let go of their whole self. Now, this person could know something, but they didn't discuss this with you and give you a full understanding as to why. They just pulling all the strings and doing everything. And whoever these people is, they're not all the way innocent. They either watch people do something to you or they had something to do with doing something to you at some point in time, and they didn't change. Their heart was changed or they changed their mind. I just never heard of no shit like this. To be in competition for your own existence, that don't even make sense. And either me or somebody else or some of you are supposed to be in those departments because you would be trusted with those departments. Some of these people were switching out information and stuff like this for other reasons. You would not be doing that in these departments. And this is why they're blocking us from getting to the positions. You can't even apply for these positions in real life. There's no fucking application process. You're a part of a family or a certain breed of people that do this thing, and they look through those breed of people or something like this, and they try to find some of you is the last one left like you. So you already a shoe in. We're not getting anymore. And these people think that they can just, oh, well, we'll just get a plain person and we'll just find technology to siphon the information and we'll just pay this person. Why wouldn't you just use the person that got it? And some of these people are the ones that work with them to take this shit from you in the first place. That's why. So you're not going to never clean nothing up unless you get it started cleaning it up. Even if these people don't get caught. What? And they get to go, if you're trying to save somebody from going to jail, you could have did that, gave these people these positions that's supposed to be theirs, that they was already grandfathered into. And it's already new crimes and stuff to be. They would have been so wrapped up in that, your shit would have just automatically got pushed to the back. And then people would be so happy about getting these new people, they wouldn't even thought about it. And they would be getting paid and they would be straight and they would have a foundation. They would be able to build off of that. And then that's just that. But somebody want to do something the hard way. And that brings suspicion onto these people or these organizations to go deeper or higher up. I was reading something about what companies and organizations, they're going to be responsible for the logistics or the people or the robots that go out in the work and do these discrepancies and ruin people's lives. The main companies they can't be held accountable for what these people did. It could even be to the point of like, this is why people be so funny about whoever they put on their record labels and stuff like this, or their demeanor or whatever this is, because somebody can go be at a concert and bust a celebrity or something can throw something off the stage and bust somebody's head open, and they do this all the time, and then now something is on the record label. If somebody had robots instead of people on the label and these robots was robbing people, it would go back on the record label. The point is, people like, dang, you learn some lessons or something. It don't matter. Somebody's identity is somebody's identity. If somebody else went and claimed something under somebody else's social security number or their identity, boom. I could give you my full social security number right now, but there should be shit in line that if somebody took that and went into and tried to claim something of mine with that your ass will be going to jail if they can prove that you not me and I'm me and you not me and you went and got that. What would you do if I called the cable company and they're like, oh yeah, but we got two addresses. And then somebody give you your next door neighbor's address, and then you find out that they do got a piece of mail or something going to their house, and they got something on your credit or on your social security number. Their cable was on there and yours. And the person said, well, I'm gonna use the Bible verse, treat your neighbor as yourself. That means that I could get my cable cut on in my neighbor's name. And that's treating me as that means I could, when my neighbors go out of town, I could go get a key made and try to act like I'm locked out the house and get a key made. And then when they come back, I'll be having a key so I can go in and violate them in the middle of the night or sneak around their house or something when they gone. So that's when you got to use your own common fucking sense. Because I didn't say that God said that. I'm just saying that this is the sneaky ways that people try to manipulate or blaspheme the word of God. When I give you all those different analogies and stuff like that, it's to show you how people are going to be using it. The pastor ain't telling you that. It's to show you how people. So if you do suspect something, maybe. But if we talking about people are federal or national or They could be like property of the United States or something. That is they're supposed to be handling that. None of your shit should be touched unless it's an inside job. The Capitol Dome should not have to worry about keeping that. The president shouldn't have to worry about if somebody is using his social security number. Nor should an Empress. Nor should a motherfucking Capitol Dome. They not put. It's motherfuckers that handles that. Is what I'm hearing. Especially if the person is not in their proper standing yet, or they haven't been vetted, or they haven't been taken over into that. It's still, then you could check for yourself. If you had an ID card, and you can go check in and go pull up to the White House, or go pull up to the Capitol building, or to the Treasury or something, and go in there and digging around if you had a passcode or something. But somebody, you don't. I don't. So then that means that people are supposed to be handling that. I wouldn't have to go get a damn credit check to make sure and see if somebody is using my number for credit cards. There should be an alert system to let you know that that's what's going on, and for you to handle that shit before I even see it. Those are the perks. And if these are forever positions and somebody try to slide you up out of there, then there's something on the inside that is corrupt, or something is wrong. Hold on one second.